Welcome to the Bold Analysis. The president is locked up in a crisis meeting amidst the parallel anti-police force that was formed and headed by ex-US military man who also worked as a special officer in Kenya. And this is what I would want us to break down in this podcast. I saw these videos and I was a bit shaken, and I was wondering really, how is really the audacity to launch this? I want us to look at that, but first, I would want first to remind us to support our baby here, baby Willis. This boy is suffering a rare condition that started as a hernia, currently admitted at Eldoret Referral Hospital. And what then it went and affected one of the testes. But then it developed, and when he was taken to the hospital, the doctors have established that he has a mass. Mass is tumor-like kwa tumbo, and that is why tumbo, the stomach is swollen to that extent. So what is supposed to be done is an urgent operation, and the doctors are working around the clock to save this child. I'm studying the gap. Hapa tunasema kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. Let's stand with this family. You're targeting that if you can be able to pull 200,000 by tomorrow, because you're going to finish this fundraiser tomorrow, the 31st, I think we shall have done our part to stand with the mother of Willis so that they undergo the process. This boy undergoes that operation, and we're told he has the chances of survival. If this is done in time, it's still an early stage, and bado yeye ni mdogo, they can address this. And so kindly support, and I believe that we are going to make it in time by the time we finish tomorrow. Thank you very much for those who responded. Thank you very much. Now, Patrick Osoy, Jackson Kuria Kimani, known as Cop Shakur, and Kimathi Hiram shocked the country 3 days ago when they went somewhere and launched what is called FBI. FBI is fighting brutality and impunity. According to them, they sought to recruit current and former police officers to fight illegal orders. And according to them, this is a movement that is actually not fighting police and not fighting civilians. But of course, the question was on audacity of making such a move. To be honest, when I saw the video they released, I was shaken. So this is what they said they want to achieve. Remember, at the time, the country is facing threats of protests, and the Gen Zs are always ready for every sort of protest. This really had not gone well with the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Is that you should never, ever take commands that are unlawful. And in any case, if there is any officer, like you've seen, we are in conjunction right now. We are collaborating with Cop Shakul. We are collaborating with Avande Kimanthi in a manner that any officer that will be dismissed from service due to circumstances of following or not following unlawful command, therefore, we are going to embrace them as a community, and we are going to reinstate them in the next year as we conduct our election. So, ladies and gentlemen, our officers in uniform, because you're not the enemy. The civilian and the citizen of this country, we have talked to them and we are telling them the police and the uniform people are not your enemy. Your enemy are those people who are in power, looting and fighting, making sure that we keep fighting so that they continue looting, they continue violating the rule of the law. So therefore, don't be intimidated by any command. If the command violates the constitution, don't do it. And we will embrace you We are going to support you, and we are going to make sure if you want to go back to your service once we take the government in a democratic manner, we are going to reinstate you. And in any case, for the leaders who are just threatening Kenyans and telling them that they are going to steal elections or they are going to take the power by force, I want to remind them, I'm a special force trained soldier. I'm a National Intelligence Service trained soldier. What I can tell you, don't dare that route, because we know it the best. Thank you very much.
And the president is not really got shaken by this move. Now, Shakur was fired, is a police officer who was fired after he joined the anti-finance bill protest on J24 last year. And then he was fired, and from then, he's been a strong government critic. Patrick Soy in these corridors worked as a special forces in military and also trained with the US Army and is an ex-military officer here in Kenya. And he was arrested on Wednesday morning at his residence in Kileleshwa and then arraigned in Kahawa law courts. And of course, he's also facing charges of terrorism. But you know, that is want to do something. He's also facing those charges. Hiram, on his side, confronted Murkomen. When Murkomen gave orders of shoot to kill, he came out live in public, and police officers are saying it's against their code of conduct, to tell off Murkomen that he's not going to take such orders, and actually said that is against even the police conduct. What happened later is that he was slapped by a transfer letter to Todonyang. And after he was told to head to Todonyang, that didn't happen. And then later, it was confirmed that he was fired from the service. In his video, he says that actually, according to him at that point, someone wanted to take his life.
Guys want to assassinate me, and people thought I was crazy, and it was very true. What happened after 1 week in Turkana? The same Todonyan, what happened? If you follow the news, Mr. Demba, there was an attack, and it was all over in the news. People saw it. So I had Kipchumba, that is when he responded to me, and he said that I am a coward. I was posted in that place, and the IG, him and the IG and the DIGs, I don't know who is the DIG KPS, because the person we know at DIG KPS has very many cases to answer. So this guy says that we had a discussion. Imagine, our OCS and the IG sitting down to discuss one individual because of speaking the truth. And we saw it is worth for this guy to be transferred here. Let me look at this camera. Kipchumba, if it was your son who was serving in the National Police Service and spoke the truth, Mr. Kanja, if it was your son who was serving in the National Police Service and he spoke the truth, could you have transferred that person to Todonyan?
Okay. That is what he says in the recent interview. Another police officer that also left the service is Samido. Samido did some one-time song song somewhere. It didn't go well with the state. Fellows felt like that is not what it should have been. And then he was also transferred somewhere to anti-stock theft in Gilgil. And then what happened later is just he flew to UK and US for some performances. It has really been rumored that he was also on his way from the service. Afande Deno is also out of the service. Afande Deno joined J25 protests. And after that, he was also slapped by a letter of terminating his services for the force.
Yes. So, mnakumbuka tulitona tulitona hospidi juzi bro. Hospidi alituita. Maana tukapatiwa barua nyingine mzito sana. na we are here today to address the nation. We are here today to address responsible people wenye manzejo, wenye wamekuwa wakiona kazi yangu na wenye wamekuwa wakitambua kazi yangu. Na if kama inaweza come through, msaya come through in wasaidie mali anaweza saidia ni sawa, ikikosekana alhamdulillah, mwanaume ni kugrind manzejo. So kikosi imeona ni vifiti ifom a proceeding committee ya to be removed from the service. Inauma but lazima tu nivumilie, mimi ni ndume.
The men in uniform. Now, this is a trend that has emerged, and I even saw, these are things that someone would say they happen, but they rarely happen. No, that's the truth. Yes, they happen. People question. People always defy, but they rarely happen, and the country was a bit shocked. And in this podcast, I'm going to show you why this is actually a concern for the president. Afande Deno here at some point, not Afande Deno, there was another police officer who emerged and was actually lecturing that team that what they are doing is something that while the masses are cheering them, but it's a high risk.
So I'm talking to you, my brother. I know you will get this. Let me not talk to you as a critique. This is not a critique, but as someone who understands the uniform that you wear, the uniform that I wear too. You see, I've seen the noise, I've seen the hype, I've seen the crowd cheering, but I want you to learn something, that it's not every cheer that is wisdom. It's not every follower in your TikTok account is your friend. Right now, I see you are standing at what I can term as crossroads between discipline and distraction, between duty and drama. I just want to remind you something that can be of help to you. You see, we don't serve for fame as police officers. We serve under orders. We serve under code of conduct. We serve under chain of command. That is why we are entrenched under this SSO, service standing orders. And that's to say, when we step out of that, when we go beyond the limits, there could be consequences that follow us. I know TikTok can make you feel like a star, feel like someone very good, but I want you to know that don't trade with the honor of the service in exchange of hypes. The same crowd that is hyping you today may of course laugh at you tomorrow when things shall have fallen apart. They won't even be there for you. So take a pause. I want you to think again. Don't let the pressure lead you into making a decision that will cost your future. Decision that can cost your peace, decision that can cost your name, of course, can tarnish your name. You still have time to choose better. You still have time to align yourself. You still have time to, rise with dignity. And my brother, not to trend with noise, not to trend with humiliating the service that has put you where you are. As a fellow colleague and officer, I'm not judging you. I'm only trying to reach out to you so that you can understand. You might want to decide wisely. I want you to remember that we are watching, but most importantly, your future is watching. Your future is watching. One of my Mwalim one day taught me that we are free to make any kind of decision in life. We are free to abuse people. We are free to take advantage of people. We are free to say this is wrong, this is right. You're free to make any decision. Right now, you could be saying a bad image of the service that has kept you until where you are. You've even gone to an extent of forgetting the urge that meant you decide to join the service. Right now, everything has turned out to be not good. So, the process of going against the wishes of the service. The process of taking that which is not supposed to be outside or even known by outsiders from the service. I saw you yesterday parade documents and begin to, allege sorts of issues.
And yes, by the way, kama kuna kitu hata mimi niliona nikashtuka ni hiyo, and I told you we are in different times. Even remember, this is you fire someone, he gets somewhere. You fire someone, anaenda mahali. And these are people that have been trained. That is one thing you need to know. These are people that knows how to use the guns. These are people that understand the police system. These are people that understand the command chain. They also understand what happens. So it's something that really worried the president and the security apparatus in the country. And I want to tell you why this is a worry to them. Number one, it amplifies that indeed the issue of police brutality and impunity is also irritating some police officers. Let me tell you, the government is on a high ground of denial that there are police elements who killed people. They believe the people that were shot in the streets were criminal elements. So they've maintained their denial ground that is not, it is not them. It is not those people that actually did the heinous act. They maintained their position on that. And this could really pose, this is a factor that could actually pose agenda to them. The second concern, what they are worried is this. Let me tell you. There are guns in the hands of civilians. Many. Many. You see these 290 MPs and their spouses and their friends. All of them have some small guns here. Several guns in the hands of civilians. And recently, there was even another story that there's some gun smuggling from the Kenyan North, or that is getting to the Kenyan North. So, this is because guns are in the hands of civilians, there will be a transition of civilians actually joining such a force. And this is what the government is looking at and wondering what exactly now is this, the X force. The second concern here is this. Yes, you can see those three gentlemen standing there, but they symbolize a strong defiance group that maybe can be infiltrated, can be hijacked to compromise the security infrastructure. Yes. So government is looking at it like, what is this? Even Mungiki used to hide. These people called a press briefing, and that press briefing, there's something they wanted to communicate. If you look at Venyoli Jiva, let me tell you, they like what will you do with them? Charge them, take them. It's really something that the president was getting worried about. Number three is that because of Gen Z protests, actually, would they be the command center for the Gen Z protests? Would they align with the Gen Z? Remember, Gen Zs are looking for brave men and women who would actually take on the president. This might not be a paramilitary, a force, but this is a group that has been cheered by the Gen Z population. And someone was telling me, Kevin, if Gen Z can identify with this group, and such a groups, one of them say, I want to be president, I want to be so-and-so, I want to be so-and-so, would they harvest the Gen Z vote? Gen Z is looking for men and women who are brave enough to confront the system. And this is the image. And someone threw a word to me, asking me, Kevin, Can this happen? By the way, this one I've asked. In this channel we have very good police officers. Na nimeuliza, inakuaje? Kanbe, you must also look at the patron, Patrick Soe. Patrick Soe, so you know, this could still be an NIS game. To bolster, to raise these people so that they can be the leaders of Gen Z. And then if Gen Z can coalesce around them, and then they carry the crowd and go with. But a more deeper perspective is that the confidence of making such a move cannot come from just a casual Kenyan. Could there be an internal force within the police system or within the state? That internal system can only be two. It can only be the government political insiders targeting, elevating Gen Z leaders, or probably from the NIS perspective, or a foreign move. The second other concern that has emerged is, remember when the president is with the president's table, is this a fallout between IG Kanja, a section of MPs, and National Police Service Commission. I want to break this down to you. So you remember when the president gave financial autonomy to the police? That money was put, and the accounting officer for the National Police Service is actually the Inspector General. Now, Parliament and National Police Service are demanding that, because National Police Service Commission are the people that are in charge of personnel, all the recruiters who are police, National Police Service are the personnel, how do you recruit police? But the payroll, management, and the administrative, the financial accountant on that is the police IG. Now, there is a move for that payroll to be taken from police IG to National Police Service Commission, and this is move that has been suggested by a section of Parliament. And IG Kanja is reading malice in it that said it is a constitutional breach. That cannot happen. This points to a deeper fallout within the president's security system. And what can only, there could be a succession battles emerging from this. These things don't just happen. Succession battles. There will be money interest. People are a bit interested in the payroll. One thing, and one feature I know in that payroll is that there are several ghost workers in that payroll. Several policemen who maybe were died and their salaries are still withdrawn, pension, this and that. There are several. So still receiving. There is a clear administrative differences there. And there will be something interesting with that. And because it is money, it can really cause a big breakdown there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Kindly let's support Baby Willis.